So, if you're creating content at any kind of scale, you've probably run into a huge challenge. How do you actually make it accountable, traceable, and safe? In this explainer, we're going to break down a really powerful framework that can turn all that potential chaos into a reliable, well-oiled machine. Okay, let's start with one simple question. Think about a major claim on your website, some important statistic. Do you know right this second who signed off on it? If the answer is, I'm not really sure, or I'd have to dig through a bunch of Slack messages, then you're in the right place. Because honestly, not having that answer puts you right in the middle of what we call the content danger zone. And this is that space where content just gets published with no clear governance and no real framework. And the risks, well, they are very, very real. See, ungoverned content isn't just about being a little messy, it's a huge business liability. It can lead to some seriously embarrassing brand damage when things slip through the cracks. It can create real legal exposure, especially if you're talking about financial or medical claims. And internally, it creates constant friction. All of this chips away at the most valuable thing you have, your audience's trust. So how do we get out of this danger zone? Well, it all starts by building a solid foundation with the core pillars of an accountable content system. This is really where we start turning all that risk into rock-solid reliability. And here is the absolute key. Technology is great, it can help, but accountability has to start with people. Before you even think about any system or tool, you have to assign clear human responsibility for every single piece of content you make. Seriously, without this, everything else just falls apart. So this framework suggests two key roles. First, you've got the owner. This person is responsible for the big picture, the whole article, how it's performing, and keeping it updated. But then for all those little repurposed bits, social media posts and FAQ answers, you need an author. This is the person who specifically verified the sources and signed off on that little piece of microcopy. You really do need both. Okay, so once you've got the people sorted, how do you actually enforce it? Well, that's where technology comes in. It's time to start thinking of your content management system, your CMS, as more than just a library where you store stuff. It needs to be an active gatekeeper, your first line of defense, making sure these rules are followed automatically. And that brings us to the technical layer. What we're going to do is build a digital paper trail, basically an auditable, machine-readable record for every single piece of content that tells its complete story, from beginning to end. Now, the core of this paper trail is actually way simpler than you might think. You only need 3 mandatory fields in your CMS to make this whole traceability thing a reality. Let's break them down. The editorial sign-off field answers our very first question: who approved this? The source citation field answers: what's your proof? It links you right back to the source documents. And finally, the revision timestamp answers: is this information still current? With just these 3 things, you can answer the most critical audit questions in an instant. And this leads us to a really core principle, a mantra really for keeping that perfect audit trail. You never, ever rewrite history. So what do you do when a fact changes? Simple. Instead of just overwriting the old record, you publish a new version. You append a new record, often in a format like JSON, which is just structured data that machines can easily read. This creates a clear, trackable version history. That way, partners, search engines, and even AI systems can see how the content has evolved, which is so crucial for traceability and trust. Okay, so we've covered the theory. Now let's get practical. This is your actionable playbook for actually putting this whole governance framework into practice. For any content that has even a little bit of risk, think legal, financial, or medical topics, a simple publish button just won't cut it. You need an explicit, multi-stage approval workflow. Just like this, every single step, from validating the sources to that final sign-off, creates a separate entry in your changelog, building a rock-solid trail of accountability. Now, here is a fantastic practical tool for your team. A 5-point pre-flight check. Before any piece of content gets reused or sent out somewhere else, just run it through this quick checklist. It makes sure all your governance steps have been followed, so everyone is working from a single auditable source of truth. This simple check prevents so much confusion and risk down the line. So, how do you make sure this whole system stays healthy? Regular audits. But wait, don't think of them as some scary exam or punishment. They're not, they're just tune-ups. A quick, lightweight quarterly check-in on your most important content helps you verify all the data, tweak your processes, and keep everything running nice and smooth. And this brings us to the most important takeaway of all. So many people think that governance is this big, clunky thing that just slows you down. But the opposite is true. Good governance is what allows you to be fast. It's the system that lets you scale, reuse content with confidence, and move quickly without breaking things or breaking trust. So we'll end where we began, with a question for you to take away. I want you to look at your own content world. Is it a collection of reliable, traceable assets that you can build on? Or is it a series of unknown liabilities just waiting to cause a problem? By putting a framework like this in place, you can make sure your content is always a powerful asset and never a hidden risk.